David will come back. Okay.
So beautiful to see all of you guys. It would be great if you can open up the camera. I'm very excited to share with you today. Remember, this session is all about you taking time off from your routine, from your ordinary life. And I want you to close your eyes for a second and just focus on curiosity and openness, because what I'm about to share with you is miraculous. It's a life-changing
Oh
wisdom.
my God, Teddy. I think
If you
I
can
think you just
mute
made the
yourself,
door.
please. Are you
Or-
able to mute David?
I'm going to put you,
Yeah, if you can do me co-host.
yes.
Thanks. Okay.
1 second. Okay, beautiful. So what I'm about to share with you could be a life-changing event that from this moment and on, you'll be able to adapt and learn new principle, new wisdom, new information. And every time we allow new information to come to us, which creates a positive vibration of transformation and change in our lives, we grow. So what we're going to discuss today, it's what is the wisdom of Kabbalah. And what I'm about to tell you today, that Kabbalah teaches that we are the creators of our lives. More than that, there is a spark of the divine that exists within each and every one of us that meant to be there in order to shine, in order to co-create. And in that process of life, what happens at times, that we're so overwhelmed from the challenges and so overwhelmed from the things that we need to deal with on a daily routine, that at times we're forgetting that we're supposed to control the external events. And it's not the other way around, that external events dictated who we are, how we feel, what is our belief system. So today, what we're going to learn is how really we are able to take charge in our life. And I want us to journal to begin with, and think for yourself, with all your past experience in life. I know that at times we giving up on change, we're giving up on dreams. But I want you to think today, what are the changes that you would like to see in your life as a result of taking this course, of joining this seminar today, and applying the wisdom and the tools that we're going to teach you? What are those? And please, you can share with us in the chat.
There's the chat.
If someone wants to share with us also, he's welcome to unmute himself and just speak up. Okay, so let me see what I see here. Finding my purpose, ability to pray more, be more forgiving and understanding, use my creativity. What else? Take better care of myself, use my creativity more too, clarity of the upper world so that I can align my purpose with the Creator as opposed to go against Him. Beautiful. More awareness to the surrounding. Okay, that's very good. That's very good. Very good. So the first question is that I'm going to ask is, what is really is the driven force in our life? What is it that we truly want? What is it, our true desires that we tremendously looking to have? What are those? Beside of today, but what are our main things that driven me to wake up in the morning and just to go and do things and try to achieve things? What is it that I'm trying to achieve? What is it that I really want from life in general? Can you answer that in the chat? Felix says pleasure. Okay, that's good. So what do we really want? Financial freedom, I like that. Happy, feeling happy and content, and spreading it with others. Someone said, I'm getting older and I'm changing. I don't know what I'm desiring more from life. Thank you. That's a sincere answer. I'm sure that after this lecture would understand a bit more that no matter what age we are, we still claim fulfillment. The idea is that we all are looking for fulfillment, something that going to fill us up. The Kabbalist explains that our structure is desire. It's not something wrong to want money, to want family, to want health, to want success, to want wisdom, to want understanding, to want to be happy, to want to make other people laugh, to want to be loved, to want to be recognized. There is nothing wrong with that. The question is, and the biggest question of life is really, are we going to achieve it? Are we going to achieve it? That's the real question, because the Kabbalists explain to us that we are all vessels, we kind of magnets, we kind of battery that constantly looking to charge ourselves with energy. That's our purpose. We are all driven by desire, and it's okay. But this is only one part of who we really are. Now, when we come to the understanding Kabbalah and the word called Kabbalah, Kabbalah means to receive, meaning that each and every one of us meant to receive. And the cosmos, the universe, God, creator, whatever you call this force that is out there, has endless resources. It's unlimited. Now, if this force is actually the seed of creation of everything all around us, it means that we, deep inside of us, has unlimited capacity. It means that if we have a great family right now with a certain amount of connection between my kids, husband, siblings, even that love can grow. If I'm connected to a certain abundance in my life, a certain skills that I have, a certain wisdom, even that can grow endlessly, gradually, according to the amount I'm going to desire something. But I have to understand that if I'm going to desire the wrong things, there are also consequences to that. So my intention and the clarity of my purpose and the clarity of what I need to focus more on desiring and what I maybe need to restrict in desiring, this is what Kabbalah teaches us. It teaches us how to receive what the cosmic, the universe, the creator projects. Kabbalah doesn't deal a lot with the creator himself, because the creator himself is so much in behind our capacity of our brain. But definitely we are dealing with the energy that this force projects. Whatever this energy projects created everything, created all the physical reality, created all the metaphysical reality, which we don't see. So imagine yourself, if we can see only with our five senses, a limited view, imagine yourself there is so much more. Therefore, it's very, very hard just to try to understand what is the Creator is all about. But it doesn't prevent us to enjoy that endless light that is being constantly projected to us. So therefore, the wisdom of Kabbalah called to receive, the wisdom of the recipient, it's dealing with us as humans, serving their purpose in receiving fulfillment in this world. How we're going to start unpacking that today and during the 10-week courses. But already today, it's going to make more sense to you on purpose for life and understanding why at times when we desire something, we receive exactly the opposite. On when we lack in desire, when we lack motivation, when we are depressed, when we suffer, we're attracting more negativity to our lives. There are reasons for all of that. It's proven scientifically, it's proven biologically, it's proven chemically in our body that a certain kind of mood, a certain kind of emotion can deteriorate our immune system. It's proven scientifically. The question, do we have control over our emotion? Do we have a control over what created the emotions? What creates the emotions? It's a certain thought pattern, certain beliefs, a certain story that I'm telling myself of disappointment, of some kind of experience that wasn't for my liking, will give birth to a very low negative emotion that if I'm going to hold down to it for too long, it's going to create tremendous limitations physically, emotionally, and mentally. So that's not what we want to receive from all our experiences. That's for sure. It's not for our liking, but sometimes we feel that we are hopeless against those because we have certain experiences that happen in our very past as children, traumas, experiences, and so many attempts and failure throughout our lives that gave birth to certain limited beliefs that I'm not worthy, I'm not deserved, I'm not loved, I'm not appreciated, I won't be able to make it, and so on and so on. There are so many beliefs and so many stories that we convince ourselves, but they just bringing out into the downside of receiving less from life. So meaning that the Creator is endless, is projecting his positive energy over us, of abundance, of love. I will show you the slide. And this slide shows that what the Creator projects, according to Kabbalah, Kabbalah gave it a name, we call it the light of the Creator. And within that white light, this raw energy, it can be translated into love, clarity, security, health, peace of mind, and wealth, constantly being projected to us. Okay? Now, the moment it's been projected to us, but unfortunately we covered ourselves. We went into a dungeon, we went into a tunnel very far from allowing that light of love to come to us, allowing from security to come to us, because we wrapped ourselves with curtains of stories that not allowing this light to come in. And I will explain soon why. But imagine yourself that every time you expressing a certain desire in your life, and we all want the same thing, as we said, we all want all of the colors of the prism, of the spectrum. We all want that deep inside. Some of us already gave up on those, but it's only because we distance ourselves so much from the sun that we stop believing that the sun is shining. You know, if someone going to be in a dungeon for a few years, not seeing the light of the sun, is going to be very surprised climbing outside and seeing the sun. We would be convinced that there is no sun anymore, that something happened to the world. So we are the one that actually need to transform. The light is endless. It's always present. The question is how much we're attempting to desire it. So sometimes instead of desiring the full capacity of fulfillment, we just, just satisfied with mediocrity, just wanting someone else to be recognize us, someone to give us compliment, maybe a little bit of security, maybe a little bit of freedom. But we never meant to be mediocres. We meant to have endless capacity to receive, all of us. So how are we going to achieve that? So imagine yourself that the creator, the life force of the creator is like a GPS. Okay? It's a GPS system. The GPS never, as long as the GPS is connected to the internet and to the GPS system, will never disappoint us, isn't it? So we enter the destination. I want soulmate relationship. Write it down on Waze. Waze soulmate relationship. Now, from the point of view of the cosmos, already created the direction how to get there. It's not as clear as Waze because it's not about turning right or left in every junctions. I need to read between the lines. But anytime I'm not really aware of the messages of that GPS system, and I'm taking things to my own ends, and I'm deciding I don't want to go right now, even though all the signs saying go right, it's not going to be uncomfortable, it's going to be a bit painful to go right, and you decide, no, too much traffic there. Too much traffic, there is an accident, the road has too much snow, covered with too much snow, I don't want to go there, I'm going to make a left, I'm going to return home, I'm not going to go on the journey. So we're trying to bypass challenges, we're trying to bypass the direction in order for us really to avoid the pain, in order for us to be comfortable, in order for us to just stay safe. And being comfortable, avoiding painful moments, and avoiding challenges, and trying to get to the destination as short as possible by making shortcuts, not gonna get us to the destination, unfortunately. I know we've been trying all our life. It doesn't work, my friends. It doesn't work. So I need to be a bit more attentive to the GPS system. I need to learn what does it mean to listen to the GPS. It's not as clear. Even though we're playing smart, even with Waze and Google Maps, even there we're saying, no, I'm going to make a right, even though it's a left. I'm doing it all the time. I'm smarter than the GPS. The GPS has all the data, all the information, knows about the traffic, but we think we are smarter. And then when we make a big mistake, what happens then? The GPS system try to reroute us back. But at times, rerouting towards the same destination after I make a very, very big, how do you say, a very big reroute, it's going to take at times 2-3 years to go back on track. That's what we don't understand. The creator is not about punishment or reward. the creator and the creation, it's all about giving us the instructions and the principles and the knowledge. And if we ask enough, and if we open enough, and if we are willing enough to make the effort, we're going to get to the destination. But when we think and when we just act from a survival mode, it means that I'm in a war and there are predators that want to hunt me, and there are people there that just want to diminish me and want to insult me, wants to put me down, and everyone is looked to me like an enemy. Immediately, that's where the survival mode is taking place. In survival mode, it means that I'm acting from lack, and I'm acting from fear, and I'm acting from uncertainty. What's going to be the future? And I cannot be a channel there. I don't have an affinity with the light force when I'm acting this way. So the Kabbalists explain to us, you see now this slide is about the tree of life. The tree of life showing us on the blueprint of how the physical and the metaphysical reality exist. Explaining to us that humanity and its physicality, we live in what we call the 1% reality, 1% world. It's the limited reality. How it's limited? It's limited through our senses, because everything that we experience in life, we experience through our senses. What we see, what we sense, we feel, we touch, we hear, we smell, we taste. Those are the five senses. Those are giving us really the transmissions, waves that translated into our brain and creating a reality. But we know that those five senses are limited. They are limited in that they don't see everything. We don't see everything with our senses. Sometimes what we thought going to be Prince Charming relationship and soulmate relationship became like this nightmare. How come? What changed? Did the person we were dating changed? Or it could be that we couldn't see who he is to begin with. We were deceived by our senses, by our fantasies, by our stories. Sometimes, I'm choosing this workplace and everything seems to be perfect. The boss is perfect. This work environment is perfect. Salary numbers look good, but when I'm going there and after a couple of months, suddenly I feel that it's the most toxic environment ever, and I don't feel any motivation to go to work. So how come I couldn't see it to begin with? Because we are blocked. We don't see everything in first glance because we are, in a way, limited by the five senses. Now, above this reality, that's called the metaphysical reality. The metaphysical reality called the 99% world. This is the unlimited realm. This is where the perspective of our soul exists. Here we introduced to the understanding that even those tree of life, 10 dimensions exist within ourselves. It means that we have the body that seems to be so great. We try to spoil it. We try to take care of it. We try to make it feel comfortable. We fix the nails. We put makeup. We put all what we take care of it, massages, and we try to spoil it all the time. But the Kabbalists explain that this is only 1% of who we are. The body is 1% of who we are. The 99% of who we are is the soul, is consciousness. Consciousness. So imagine yourself that most of your life you were focusing on the desires that coming from your body. The body say, feed me. The body says, spoil me. The body says, make me relax. The body says, give me pleasure. Give me this, give me that, give me beauty. Make things nice for me. Make things comfortable for me. And it's so noisy. The body is so noisy. When I not eating for a few hours, my body starts doesn't leave me alone. I cannot do anything. I cannot focus. I have to grab something to eat. This is how noisy the body is. So we're falling into the trap of the demands of the consciousness of the body, because there are two consciousnesses here. There's the consciousness of the body, the perspective of the ego, and there is the consciousness within me of the soul. Now, scientists explain to us that even within the atom, let's say the atom is the minimal physical tangible thing. Even that we have to look into a huge microscope into see the atom structure. But even within the atom, there are 99% emptiness. We don't know what it is. Nobody knows what it is. That's the consciousness. It's not just emptiness. It's not just void. So if there is 99% emptiness within every atom, there must be 99% consciousness within each and every one of us. And we cannot neglect it. The reason why we really don't get what we want from life is because we are neglecting that part of us. But it's us, it belongs to us, it's who we are, it's within us. We cannot neglect it. We have to start getting familiar with it. We have to start really feeding it and nourishing it, because it's more than our body. I'm not saying neglect the body, but just make balance, making sure that every part of you been nourished and been given its energy. So the Kabbalist explains to us about the law of attraction, that the reason why we're not really receiving the way we wish to receive is because we don't have affinity yet in our mind, in the way we behave, in the way we feel with the light force. Kabbalists explain to us that the light force is the reason of our creation. Creation means that if something exists, it doesn't happen like by coincidence. It must be a force that created it. So if the force created everything, all this vast universe, including all the galaxies and all these beautiful planets, and this planet in particular that we live in, and the human body, it means that part of that creator is inside of us. And that's why the Kabbalah is called the soul. So even within us, there is the physicality that is a bit more put into a box, and there is the soul. The soul has complete affinity with the cosmos, with the creation. So the law of similarity of form explained to us that what I am similar to, I will be connected to. What I'm different from, I will be disconnected from. So if I thought most of the time, most of my life, that I am the body, most likely I won't be able to connect to that energy, because I think I'm a body, I'm something that is materialized. But if I think, no, yes, there is the body, but the body is just a clothing to 99% of my essence, which is consciousness, which has affinity with the divine. So if I'm thinking I'm the consciousness, I will have much more similarity of form with that light. Therefore, I will be more connected to it. I will be able to hear the messages more clearly from it. What exactly my direction, and how can I achieve, and how can I receive this raw energy called light of positivity, of blessings, of abundance, of endless shine and light. Okay? So the question is, can I come and ask for something new in my life while I'm constantly living in the past? Our daily stream of 6,000 to 10,000 thoughts tends to be mostly negative and limited. That's a scientific fact. Negative and limited. You can try to journal 1,000 thoughts that you have per day, but I mean, it's not going to be easy to journal 10,000 thoughts a day, but every thought that you have, just journal it and then look at them and separate them, see what was positive, what was negative, what was limiting, what was with possibilities, with optimism. And you would see that most of them, unfortunately, are negative. Not more than that, another scientific fact is that most of the thought we thinking today, we thought yesterday. Meaning that we are a program that became an hardware of streaming the same thought over and over and over. And we're kind of running in a loop. We're running in a loop that's not allowing us really to see how great we are, to see how capable we are, to see how unlimited we are. And that's require reprogramming. That's requiring to wash away with a lot of effort what we call that consciousness of the body. So let me make it a little bit more practical, because I think we were a bit abstract. Okay, so how can I have more similarity of form or more affinity with this cosmic positive endless energy that is out there, that all what it wants to give me? Yeah, in this messy life that I've been challenged constantly with many different surprises, as we say, this survival predator mechanism that I feel that I'm constantly being challenged and attacked. So challenge can be anything. It could be any decision that I'm about to take every morning, waking up. Should I wake up early? Should I turn off my alarm and sleep another hour? Should I go to the gym? Should I not? This is simple task that we get challenged. Am I going to listen to my body consciousness that's seeking for comfort? Or am I looking at this thought telling me, yes, let's overcome that. Let's start a diet. Let's start a new business. Let's go and just have pure energy, being with ourselves and doing something positive. Let's volunteer. You know, the voice of the body is so loud, not allowing this voice sometimes to take over. So those are challenges. Not to talk about the challenges, the chaotic challenges that sometimes surprising us, because we accumulated so many negative beliefs. At times, the only wake-up call would be something chaotic that take place. So suddenly, divorce. Suddenly, I lost my work. Suddenly, I got sick. There is no such a thing suddenly. Whatever happens, it's an effect of something that causing it over and over in the past. But let's say I'm encountering those different challenges of life. First, I need to realize that all of those been sent to me by the cosmic. It's part of the GPS direction. It's been sent to me to allow me really to take the next step. So every time a challenge happened, what happened within me, that I'm connecting to my body consciousness, that experiencing void, lack, uncertainty, negativity, fear. Yeah, this is immediately what's being activated. And then I'm being reactive. That's the mechanism of the survival mode that's saying, I need to protect myself. How do I protect myself? Each and every one of us protecting ourselves in different ways. But it's either flight or fight, either run away or either get into a war with the situation. That's how we're being reactive. Now, I have two choices. The moment the lack being triggered, I have also the choice to stop and to observe and to understand that everything that happens is an opportunity. And everything that happens is coming from the light, and I should activate the soul inside of me. Because the soul inside of me has the answer, is the 99% with me, it's the pure consciousness inside of me. So I cannot do and act with those two together. It's either I'm activating the body consciousness, which is reactive, or either I'm looking for the wisdom that my soul carries. So this is one of the ways, by applying restriction over my body mechanism that tells me fight, flight, comfort, no pain, run away. No, wait a second, pause, shh, relax, everything is okay. It's an opportunity. What's the opportunity here? Cosmos, what is the opportunity? I'm calling upon my 99 instead of listen to the noise of the body. And then I can start changing. Then I can get out of the loop of this 6,000 to 10,000 thoughts that causing me to act and to be react constantly the same way. So the source, the endless light, creator, cosmos, whatever you call it, it's connected to the soul. It's coming from abundance, no lack. The ego, the body, the reactive, the survival mechanism inside of us, it's connected constantly to lack, constantly vibrating the message that something is missing. Something is missing. Yes, something is missing. 1% is missing. 99% is already amazing and fulfilling inside of me. So why should I give it so much attention to this 1% thing that happen externally? Because usually things trigger us from the external. Why should I let it take over? I want to connect to this abundance, to the soul inside of me. This is the switch that I'm here to do. Now, of course, easy said than done. That's the reason we have to learn. 1 hour wouldn't enough to bring us to the understanding, to bring us to the logic, and to give us the power when push come to shove, and when I get challenged big time in my life, how to exercise it. We have to learn. There are so many aspects. This is just a tiny drop in a huge ocean of wisdom. But this is the switch. If we learn to do that switch, then we have affinity with the Creator. We have affinity with our soul. Suddenly we see that the solutions are there. We're capable to take control of anything external that happens. And I'm telling you that from experience and from student experience for the past 20-something years that I've been practicing it. It is doable. It's required effort. So any thought like I'm not worthy, I will never going to make it, is too hard. Nobody loves me. I can't. I will never change. blaming others, complaining, judging everyone around us, that's not going to lead towards affinity with the cosmic, with the creator. So what's really happening? We'll show you the mechanism that starts from every thought. So if you see on the right top, you see thought. Everything starts from a thought. Even the creation, according to the ancient text of Kabbalah, started with a thought by the creator. One thought of the creator brought everything that you see and you don't see about. But our thoughts are leading to emotions, emotions leading to feelings, feelings leading into mood, mood leading us to behaviors, behaviors into attitude, attitudes into habits, habits bringing addictions, addictions and habits and attitude create personality. Personality creates a personal reality. Until we're not going to get out of the loop of feeling, behaving, and acting the same way, we won't be able really to connect to an higher level of our existence. We have to get out of that loop. We have to take control over our thoughts. We have to take control over our emotions. Not allowing that to switch what we call the survival mode, the flight or fight mechanism. So there is a very interesting relationship between the brain and our hearts, between the feelings and our thoughts. So they say that if you feel depressed, you're going to magnet similar things to your life. All your interaction around life going to be similar to your feelings. They say, the scientists even say that the thoughts are the transmitters. They are broadcasting messages to the universe. Okay? So if those thoughts are limited, if those thoughts are small, if those thoughts are negative, that's what we are broadcasting. And eventually that's leading to a certain mental health and feelings that happens. So the feelings attracts and lead to a certain thoughts. The thoughts create feelings. This is the loop. This is the circuitry between the heart and the brain. But when they are in coherence, when I understood something today and I say, wow, I'm going to act more positively. And now I'll be able to feel optimism inside my heart. And I feel that there are possibilities. There is a coherence. I understand it. I send thoughts transmitted this way and I feel good about it. Boom, there is a change. There is a change in energy. Suddenly I have this affinity that we're talking about. I'm starting to attract different things. And if I'm doing it enough times with practice and efforts and resisting my old behavior, my old programming, it takes time. It's like addicts. You know, we're addicted to the chemistry that all our feelings produced. And we are constantly looking to justify in everything that happened, that if I used to be disappointed, I will look again for more disappointment, for more people not to trust. If I'm looking for failure, yes, I'm going to justify and find ways to fail again because I need it chemically. The body already addicted to that. Guys, this is in a glimpse why it's so difficult to transform and change. But it doesn't mean that it's not possible. It will require a lot of effort. So when I'm talking about body, mind, soul, it says that I need to bring myself to a place with the optimism and believe that There is a future waiting for me, more than I believe to everything that I experienced in the past. What does it mean? Many times we're waiting for wealth to feel abundant and worthy, waiting for success to feel empowered, waiting for healing to feel gratitude and being whole, waiting for new relationship to feel love. So the Kabbalists tell us news. No, 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 no. It doesn't work like that. It cannot come from the external because 99% of you is already abounded. 99% of you is already empowered. 99% of you is already whole and healthy. 99% of you is already in a loving relationship. So first you have to feel it, then you're going to start attracting it. It's completely the other way around. That's what we don't get, because we are basing our fulfillment according to physical manifestation. But tell me, did it really serve you that far, this method? I don't think so. I don't think so. So how are we going to reprogram ourselves is first through learning a lot of wisdom through the brain, the logic mind. And then from the logic mind, bringing it to experiences, bringing it into actions, bringing it to new habits. With a lot of practice, it is possible really to understand. Because the reason of creation was that all human beings will be able to be fulfilled and happy. There is no intention in creation for us to suffer. Suffering is only because we try to reroute from the direction of the GPS. Only because our ego told us, I know better. Let me do it my way. But we think our way separated the creator. No, we are the creator. 99% of us is already the creator. We're just neglecting that part of us. And we're thinking that our selfish, tiny desires of the ego and the desire for pleasure and for comfort, those are going to sustain us. It's not going to work. It's not going to work. The biggest freedom is when we are not really running after comfort, when we're enjoying to be challenged. But that's a matter of learning new tools and exercising different muscles. And that's the reason why we're teaching the wisdom of Kabbalah. Now, let me share with you a little bit of the history, even though you can Google it up, but a little bit history about our center. So our center was established 100 years ago in the city of Jerusalem by a Kabbalist called Rav Ashlag, with the purpose to bring the teachings of Kabbalah to the masses. Because till then, it was hidden in a way for single few scholars. And this master 100 years ago understood that in order for us to bring the world into a peaceful place, free of chaos, people have to understand this wisdom. People have to learn this wisdom. And since then, for the past 100 years, we've been spreading this wisdom throughout the world. We're an international center that spread out throughout the world with many, many centers in the most metropolitans in the world, and a lot of online presence. So here in Toronto, we have a center, we have a presence, we have a physical place, but we're opening ourselves online, so anyone will have access to that. And within our teachings, we brought and published hundreds of books in so many different languages. just to make this magical wisdom available to any person. There are many depths that Kabbalah deals with, but we found that in order for you to go to more of the astral, more of the different aspects of Kabbalah, you have to learn those basics. That's our conclusion after 100 years of teaching this wisdom. There are many other people that teaching Kabbalah in a very esoteric way, in a very kind of mathematical way. We say first is first. First, you start to need to realize that we have to go in a purpose of transformation. And then you start revealing different levels of yourself, of your capacity. And then you dive deeper to different areas that Kabbalah has to offer. Plenty of offers. We use a lot of the teachings of astrology in order to understand what we call the tikkun, the personal path and correction that each and every one of us has. And we also teach a lot about reincarnation, understanding that whatever we are today in this world is just a result of something that happened in the past. Meaning that every task that we're receiving in this world is for the purpose of correcting something that we weren't able to correct in our past. And if we're going towards that path, that's how we achieve happiness and fulfillment. I'm opening myself for questioning right now. Any questions that you would like to ask, you can open the mic.
We have some questions in the chat, David, also.
Yes.
There is one. Can we perceive the spiritual world, metaphysical reality during our dreams?
Absolutely. Every time you close your eyes, especially in dreams, but some of us also daydream at times. What does it mean? It means that we can put ourselves somewhere else by closing our eyes and using our imagination. So especially in dreams, you can experience the world of the 99, but not necessarily.
Thank you. We have another one. But if we don't know the future, which is uncertain, how can we break the loop of the past to shift to a new personality, as we don't have control over other people's behavior?
We never have control on the challenges that knock on our door. What we do have control is how to handle them. If the challenge already arrived to me, it's predetermined. I cannot say, sorry, I didn't sign for this. Go away. That's what we're trying to do. We avoid them. We believe that they don't belong to us. It's not going to work. When it comes, say, bring it on. I want to handle you in the best way. That's what we teach. What would be the best way to handle the challenge? How I cannot be reactive. How can I act for my soul, not for my body consciousness? So doing those things enough times create an amazing future. There is no such a thing uncertain future. Uncertainty belongs to the survival body consciousness because it doesn't see, it's only see five senses, the body. But the soul can say, I see that the future is promising. I'm going to make sure the future is promising. I'm going to control the future. So if tomorrow is going to be a bad day, it doesn't matter because eventually I will come to my destination. We don't know how long the destination is. We're just putting it into the GPS, soulmate relationship. That's it. It's done. The Creator will take us there. We just need to follow our soul towards there. And that's what we teach, how to follow their soul towards there.
Thank you. We have no questions, no more. If someone has questions, you are welcome to put it in the chat, or maybe you can unmute yourself.
Hi, I actually have a question. So if we're triggered by the external, okay, isn't that a clue to who we are or who we have been in the past? And in which case, isn't therapy, to understand your trigger and where it came from, isn't that kind of useful?
It is, and it's part of the teaching. You cannot just do it from a psychological place, unfortunately, because missing a lot of, even though it's getting closer to spiritual understanding, it's not just the intellectual, logical way to approach things. Meaning,
sorry, go ahead.
So, meaning that it cannot just be with the intellectual mind. It's have to be through what we call the force of shifting. That's how you experience. You feel negative, but say, no, I don't want to feel bad now. I can change it. And if you're doing those attempts enough times, with the attempt really to connect with the higher self, which is the soul, and you experience it enough times, you see that transformation happens. If you just talk about it, it's not enough. It's part of it. We do talk, we do teach, but the experience and taking different actions in life are very essential.
Yeah, but I think therapy helps you to understand your motivations and your triggers. I don't mean to argue with you, but it seems to me that it's also a route to helping you understand where you come from, helping you change some of your thinking, some of your negative thinking, actually, to understand that it might not even be your own thinking. It's the thinking of, let's say, your father or your mother that's still rolling around in your head. So
True.
Once you understand that, you understand, well, that's not even me, right? My thinking has to change to what is the authentic me.
True, but a psychologist cannot tell you that you chose this father because you chose him.
Oh, no.
Spiritually, you chose this father, so he will trigger whatever exists inside of you in order to work on it. So this is already an all new ball game by understanding that. You're looking at the relationship with your parents completely different. I chose them. I thought it's their fault. They got connected and, had sex and brought me to the world. It's not my fault. You see, that's something that you cannot hear from a psychologist unless you study Kabbalah.
Yes, maybe.
Okay. And there are many, many like that. This is the reason I'm actually telling you. That's the difference between the spiritual understanding than just the intellectual behavioral understanding. Even though it doesn't mean that it's bad, don't get me wrong, but I don't think it's enough. I don't think it's enough.
Okay, thanks.
Anyone else?
AD has another question.
Please.
Spiritually speaking, when we think about how we interact with people, on a daily basis, right? Because sometimes the information that they give, let's say if we are struggling with certain things, some things we can learn from what others have experienced and what advice they give. Sometimes it seems to be effective for if we replicate and use what they say or what we've learned from others. Sometimes it doesn't. Like, it works for them, but it doesn't necessarily apply well, isn't effective for us. So is it so I guess I'm asking is, does it depend on each part of life, or how do you determine that on what to take and learn and what not to? Because sometimes they can give advice that is not really effective or not good for us. So how do you know what advice or what knowledge to take and apply for ourselves and what not to?
Sure. Listen, it's good to observe behavior of others and to learn from other people's mistakes, but to remember that the tikkun, the task that I have in this world, is unique. So the answers are usually inside of me. It's those things that I feel limited myself, if I'm aware enough. Those things of behaviors and thoughts and emotion that I know that are not healthy for me. And I need to ask why they are there. Yeah?
Yeah.
It's very personal. So we can learn a lot from others, but again, if we're not tuned to the voice within, it's never going to be complete.
Thank you.
Julie, how do you deal with the generational curses that has been passed down from ancestor to you? Okay, that's a legitimate question. So you can call it even karma. In a very simple way, you can call it karma that we carry sometimes, because what we call the family tree, we're inheriting the DNA from our parents. At times, many times, we inherit their fortune, we inherit the karma. But again, we chose that. So of course, there is similarity of form to our parents and sharing their DNA. So it means that the misfortune can be carried from father to son and so on and so on. So how can we get from that loop? To understand that whatever behavioral, emotional addictions that my parents are encountered with, I have to get out of that loop. Yes, there is a karma, there is a predetermined fortune, but it's negotiable according to my transformation. It means that I can get out of that loop with a lot of effort, with a lot of investigation, with a lot of sincerity.
So next week, we are going to start the Kabbalah 1 course, which is a 10-week course. It's in which we are going to deep more in this spiritual wisdom. Each class, we will learn one spiritual rule and one tool that can help us to apply in our daily life and because Kabbalah is not also theory, like we really need to apply it in our daily life. And that's what we encourage in every class. Also, during the course, you have one mentor that is actually guiding you during the 10 weeks, and you will have the recording of each of the classes. So next week, the first class is free class. So you are welcome to join so you can get to know a little bit more how the course is going to be taken. David is going to teach us, and Tamar is his wife. And it's going to be in the center. It's going to be in person, online. You can choose to register online, but if you are able to join in person one day, it's great. Like you can be switching. If you can go to in person, but you can go that one day, you can also go online. So we have this flexibility for you, so you are not able to miss any classes, but if you miss one, you will have the recording. So you are very welcome to join us for the first class. And the price of the entire 10-week course, it's $136, the early bird price, which is until the 2nd of April at midnight. The next day, it would be $195. So you can go to the first class and then decide if you would like to join the entire 10 weeks course. So I don't know if you would like to have more questions, or if not, we are going to send you more information by email, and we really appreciate your time, and we hope you enjoy this amazing introduction. Thank you very much, David. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Looking forward to see you soon in person
Thank you.
and online.
I have one question, if you don't mind.
Yes.
Sorry, I forgot to ask this. So, with regards to zodiac signs, since I'm not, don't know much about them, to what extent do each zodiac sign play a part or play a role in our lives, and do we have, is it inevitable that we can't control them, or how does it affect us, and is there any way to, what are the positive and negative implications of it? How do we deal with that?
Yes, in short, because it's not for this session, but the astrological blueprint is the signature of how someone nature like. What does mean nature? It means that this is my natural way of behavior. It's like the programming. So of course there is the good side about it, but there is the downside about it. I'm here really to grow the good side, to empower it even greater of my sign, and I'm here really to overcome the negative side. By doing that, I'm already progressing. Of course, emotionally, physically, and mentally. So great to have you all.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Bye. Good night.
Bye. Take care. Bye.